This is Ryan Fletcher from Radio BVM, and I've got Rice Honeywell in studio. He just performed here today with the band Red Beans and Rice. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you, Brian.
Could you tell us a little bit about that band Red Beans and Rice? Like, why is it named that, first of all?
Well, there used to be a great performer for many years by the name of Louis Armstrong. And Satchmo, they used to call him, and he played all over the world with this kind of music from New Orleans originally. And his favorite dish, coming from New Orleans, was red beans and rice. It's a New Orleans dish, spicy and delicious. And naturally, when we play New Orleans jazz music, we thought, well, hey, actually my drummer named the band many years ago. He said, let's call it Red Beans and Rice. Hey, it's helpful that the name Rice is your name. Why not name it Red Beans and Rice? So without too much objection, I said, okay, why not? So we've been that name for many, many years now. And,
that's perfect, because they could be the red beans. Yes.
Yeah, they're the beans and I'm the rice.
Yeah. Okay. So the band's been together a while then?
Yes, it started in Toronto back around 1979, 80, somewhere in there, because I lived in Toronto, and we had a band called Red Beans and Rice there. So we moved, when I moved out to British Columbia with my wife in around 1990, I thought to myself, why not keep on playing? So we started a band, Red Beans and Rice, West Coast edition, I guess you'd call it, and so we've been playing ever since. One of the members of my original band is still with me on trombone. He moved to British Columbia as well. Ray Batten, our trombone player, so we're playing in the same band. So we started this band about 23 years ago, and helped form the White Rock Traditional Jazz Society. And around that time, and it's been going since that time, it's still going now, and meets in Crescent Beach, Crescent area near White Rock, or part of the Semiahmoo Peninsula. It's in the Legion there in that area. So that's where we play on weekends, and we played there for 10 years every week. Now we've had a lot of young people come along and play. People like Bria Skonberg, who's a wonderful young trumpet player, who has since gone to New York, and many, many others played with there. And so it's kind of grown and grown and grown, and we're still the house band of the White Rock Traditional Jazz Society, although we don't play every week now. We have many other gigs that we play. So that's kind of the background of the Red Beans name.
And so have you been involved in jazz all your life, or?
Yes, I have been, Ryan. I've been playing piano since I was very little. My mother insisted I take piano lessons, which, like a lot of mothers do, and she kept me going at it under pain of death, I guess. But anyway, so I was learning the Royal Conservatory music program for many, many years as a little kid. When I got to 13, 14, I started listening to jazz music, and by then I had some chops, some technical facility on the piano, and I started picking up on Lionel Hampton, Oscar Peterson, people that played quite well. Boogie Woogie mostly in those days.
Yeah. Now, what time era is this?
That would be, let's see, the late 40s, 47, 48, 40, somewhere in there, 48. Yeah, approximately. It's so long ago now, I can't place it exactly.
Yeah. Now, how do you feel about the scene now? I mean, as someone who's been involved in music that long, do you feel there's a revival, or how do you feel about the jazz scene here?
Well, I've been very fortunate in hooking up with a great local icon in jazz in Vancouver area by the name of Lance Harrison, who is a great reed man here, well known to everybody. When I came to Toronto, I fortunately had the occasion to meet him, and at that point we needed a clarinet player in our band, and he'd never retired. He was in his mid-70s, I guess, by that time, but he joined the band with us and was with us for many years, Lance Harrison, and actually even went to China with us on a tour of China. And those days are gone now. Lance, of course, passed away about 10 years ago or so now, but we still remember him fondly because he was a wonderful man and a great He played with the Del Richards Band here in Vancouver for many, many years. And but he was known for his Dixieland jazz playing, his clarinet particularly. And on tenor, he was a wonderful. He loved Eddie Miller on the tenor sax, a New Orleans sax player. He was a great musician, a great friend. But he's gone now. But the band is continuing on. Yeah.
And the band is, I believe, a 6-piece.
Yes, it is. Although
what's it comprised of?
Well, I shouldn't say 6-piece all the time because we have a piano player. Not always when we play events or things do they have a piano. So we depend on our wonderful guitar player, Don Ogilvie. But we do have a piano player as well, Peggy Thompson. Peggy's with us now 3 or 4 years. And when we play in the Legion in Crescent Beach, there's a piano there, so she plays piano. She's a wonderful piano player, and she plays with us too. So it's really 7 people when we play for the jazz club down there. So that's kind of fun, having her in the band. But basically, we're a 6-piece band when we're playing places like this and many others that we have to go outside the town.
What instruments are involved?
Well, we have the pretty well traditional Dixieland jazz band instrumentation, 3 horns, clarinet, and trombone, and trumpet, or cornet. Cornet's the same as a trumpet, except it's a little shorter and has a slightly different sound, but it's basically the same. I play both. And we have drums, guitar, or you could have banjo. Quite often, the Dixie band used a banjo. We use a guitar. Don's a superb guitar player and does the same thing, basically. And drums. So we have bass, drums, and guitar in the rhythm section. As I say, piano as well when we play at the Legion and places where they have a piano. We have Peggy on piano. Yeah, so it's a 7-piece, but most of the time it's a 6-piece.
Okay. And for people that are listening to this interview, that might want to catch more of your entertainment, what can they do?
Well, they can phone me. It's the easiest way to do it. I mean, I give out cards and people phone me all the time, or email me, and they can phone me at 604-535-0846, or email me at honeyjazz@shaw.ca. Simply, as I say, most people just phone and say, when are you available? Here's a calendar. We'd like you for such and such a date. Are you available? That's how it usually goes. And we quote a price and so forth, yeah.
Okay, all right. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about today?
Well, not really, except I want to say what a wonderful place you have here. It's just, I've never been here before. Lived in this area for many years. I've never been here before. And when Sonia called me to come and play, I was delighted. And when we arrived here with my wife, I was just thrilled with the wonderful and antique village and all the various little businesses and the lake nearby and the river and the little creek running through it and the trees. And it's just a beautiful place for anybody to visit. You should be very proud of it. We'd like to come back. So next time, hopefully we can play on the bandstand. We were scheduled to play on the bandstand, but this other music was here. But next time we'll be glad to play, hopefully on the bandstand. But thanks for asking questions. Thanks for interviewing me. And,
You're welcome. Thank you very much for your time.
Yep.